Iran says they shot it down. An American F-15 Strike Eagle, one of the most advanced fighter jets on Earth, falling from the sky. Washington isn't confirming it. Israel isn't denying something happened. But somewhere over Iran's southwestern border, a very expensive piece of metal hit the ground and nobody's talking. A dramatic aerial confrontation appears to have unfolded over Iran as competing claims emerge about fighter jets shot down during the escalating conflict between Israel, the United States, and Iran. Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps says its air defense systems have shot down an American F-15E Strike Eagle during operations. According to a statement from the Public Relations Department of Iran's Revolutionary Guard, the incident occurred on the morning of March 4th during ongoing strikes targeting Iranian infrastructure.
On the morning of March 4th, a two-seat multi-mission attack fighter jet of the F-15E Strike Eagle belonging to the aggressor America was successfully targeted by the modern air defense systems of the Aerospace Force of the Revolutionary Guard, and it fell on the outskirts of the southwestern borders of the country.
Iranian officials say the aircraft was intercepted by advanced air defense systems deployed by the IRGC Aerospace Force. The jet reportedly crashed near Iran's southwestern border region after being struck during what Tehran describes as a bombing run. Earlier, on March the 4th, unverified footage circulating online showed debris falling near mountainous areas north of Tehran, close to the Lavasan Mountains. In the video, a man claims Iranian air defenses had intercepted the fighter jet while it was conducting bombing operations over the city. However, the authenticity of the footage and the exact location of the incident remain difficult to independently confirm. Israeli media outlets reported a very different aerial encounter. According to the Times of Israel, an Israeli F-35 stealth fighter shot down an Iranian aircraft during an air-to-air engagement over Tehran. If confirmed, the report would mark the first known instance of an Israeli F-35 destroying an enemy aircraft in direct combat. The same report claims that US and Israeli forces later launched a rescue operation for pilots from another downed aircraft, suggesting multiple aerial incidents may have occurred during the intense wave of strikes. Neither the United States nor Israel has officially confirmed the loss of an F-15 over Tehran. Still, the reports underscore how rapidly the confrontation is escalating. Air power now appears to be playing a central role in the conflict, with advanced fighters, missile systems, and air defense networks all engaged in a dangerous contest for control of the skies. If verified, the downing of high-end aircraft, such as the F-15E Strike Eagle, or a successful air-to-air engagement involving an Israeli F-35, would mark a significant escalation in direct military confrontation over Iranian territory. For now, the situation remains fluid, with multiple claims and counterclaims emerging as the conflict continues to unfold over one of the world's most volatile regions. Iran's foreign minister has issued a sharp warning to Washington following the torpedo strike that sank the Iris Dana in the Indian Ocean, calling it an atrocity and vowing that the United States would live to regret it. Sayed Abbas Araghchi posted the warning on X on March 5th, hours after US Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth confirmed a Navy submarine had sunk the Iranian frigate off Sri Lanka's southern coast on March 4th.
The U.S. has perpetrated an atrocity at sea, 2,000 miles away from Iran's shores. Frigate Dina, a guest of India's Navy carrying almost 130 sailors, was struck in international waters without warning. Mark my words, the U.S. will come to bitterly regret the precedent it has set.
The frigate had been returning from a naval exercise hosted by India in Visakhapatnam when it was struck approximately 40 kilometers off the coast of Gale. Reportedly, more than 80 sailors were killed. Sri Lanka's Coast Guard received a distress call at 5:08 am local time reporting an explosion aboard the vessel. The weapon used was a Mark 48 Adicap torpedo, one of the most capable anti-ship weapons in the US Navy's arsenal. Introduced in 1972 and continuously upgraded since, the modern version weighs around 1,700 kilograms and carries a high-explosive warhead designed not to strike a ship directly, but to detonate beneath it. The physics of that is deliberate and devastating. The underwater blast creates a gas bubble that expands and collapses, breaking the ship's structural spine and causing it to split and sink rapidly. The torpedo can travel at speeds exceeding 55 knots and strike targets dozens of kilometers away. Thomas Shuggart, a former US submarine commander, told Fox News the strike carried a clear message.
This torpedo detonated underneath the stern of the Iranian ship and lifted it up out of the water, and so it sank in a matter of minutes. It definitely seems to me like a message that the gloves really are off.
Hegseth called the strike a quiet death and confirmed it was the first time the US Navy had sunk an enemy vessel by torpedo since the Second World War.
In fact, yesterday, in the Indian Ocean, and we'll play it on the screen there, an American submarine sunk an Iranian warship that thought it was safe in international waters. Instead, it was sunk by a torpedo. Quiet death. The first sinking of an enemy ship by a torpedo since World War II.
With over 80 sailors dead and Tehran publicly threatening consequences, whether this remains an isolated naval incident or widens into something more is a question neither side has answered. Meanwhile, explosions in and around Tehran continue to wreak havoc, having killed at least 1,045 people since the war began. Al Jazeera reported that Israel and the US continued the relentless bombardment on March 5th. The Israeli military has said that it struck and destroyed a secret nuclear headquarters, which it identified as Minzadeh in Iran. Military spokesperson Efi Defrin said the site was intended by Iran to develop capabilities and knowledge towards obtaining nuclear weapons, without providing any evidence for the assertion.
A few hours ago, the IDF struck and destroyed the secret nuclear headquarters of Minzadeh. You can now see the headquarters on the screen, located partly underground in the city of Tehran. In these headquarters, a group of nuclear scientists operated covertly, advancing and developing capabilities and knowledge towards obtaining nuclear weapons. After we severely damaged their nuclear weapons development efforts during Operation Kelavi in June 2025, the regime transferred some of its capabilities to secret bunkers. The regime tried to restore its efforts and hide them, believing that we would not detect them. Throughout the operation, Israeli Air Force pilots took off for about 1,600 strike sorties across Iran and dropped about 4,000 munitions. Today, we have surpassed the amount of munitions that the IDF dropped in any operation. In the last 24 hours, hundreds of fighter jets and UAVs of the Air Force went on more than 300 consecutive strike sorties in Iran, in Lebanon, in Tehran, and in Beirut.
Defrin also confirmed the Israeli army had killed the commander of Iran's Quds Force in Lebanon, Daoud Ali Zadeh, in a strike on Tehran.